O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahur quit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
What if the demons, angels, and spirits of medieval mythology weren't like divine beings, but just open source code running in your subconscious? And what if you could literally hack them? Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we are taking you into Chapter 3 of the Psychonaut Field Manual.
Right, the manual by Arch-Trader Blue Fluke.
Exactly. Our mission today is to explore this theology-free kind of psychopunk approach to chaos magic. It strips away all the heavy dogma, and treats the mystical realm like a hackable operating system.
Yeah, and to start hacking reality, we first need to identify the programs we are actually running. The manual splits these into two strict categories. You've got local and non-local spirits.
Okay, so what is the main difference?
The distinction really comes down to origin. So local spirits are generated entirely from within your own subconscious. But non-local spirits, those are independent external beings operating out in the collective unconscious or the astral plane.
Right, so dealing with local spirits is basically like coding a custom macro on your own hard drive. I mean, it is internal. It generally does what you tell it to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
But summoning a non-local spirit, that is like connecting your completely unprotected computer to the raw, wild internet and just seeing what downloads.
Oh, absolutely. It leaves you entirely exposed, which is exactly why you need a highly controlled interface.
Right, because if opening my mind to non-local spirits is like the unprotected internet, I mean, how do I avoid getting a metaphysical virus? There has to be an antivirus.
Well, that would be the Neo Geo. It is designed as an adaptable astral cockpit. Basically, it takes the incredibly complex ceremonial circles of old magic and simplifies them into functional geometric stars.
Wait, so you're just drawing shapes on the floor?
Well, no, not just drawing shapes. It acts as a spatial boundary for your working memory. By visualizing the star, you are literally walling off a section of your mind, creating a safe psychological sandbox. One star protects your psyche, and the other houses the spirit.
Oh, wow. I see. And to actually observe what is inside that sandbox, you need a monitor. Practitioners use what the manual calls the blue pearl. It is like a reflexively called dot of light in the mind's eye. Or they use scrying with a black mirror and smoke.
Right. And since you are likely familiar with pareidolia, or brain's hardwiring to find faces and random patterns, you can see how the manual exploits this. By giving your mind a blank, noisy canvas like smoke, it forces your subconscious to project the entity's form right into your field of vision.
That makes total sense.
And when the manual instructs you to use traditional names of power, like archangels, it is not out of religious devotion at all. It uses them strictly because centuries of human belief have given those names massive psychological and vibrational weight.
Yeah, but sandboxes can break, which brings us to the risks. Running these psychological experiments obviously requires absolute containment. The manual emphasizes that local spirits must be bound to a physical object, right? Like a locked Pandora's box.
Yes, because if you skip that step, they default to binding to their creator. You have to remember, these constructs are described almost like children who have access to your deepest memories, but they completely lack social grace.
That sounds terrifying.
It is. Without a physical locking key to prove to your brain that you possess ultimate control over the entity, they can throw these massive, terrifying mental tantrums.
Okay, I have to stop you and push back here for a second.
Sure.
I hear the manual saying belief is a tool, but are these entities truly external metaphysical forces? Or is this just extreme psychological compartmentalization going completely rogue? Like, if I start manifesting a squirming worm-like energy in my spine, which the manual lists as a symptom of a botched evocation, my brain really wants to know if I need a priest or a psychiatrist.
Well, that is the ultimate tension of chaos magic.
Oh.
But the manual's approach is radically pragmatic. The distinction simply does not matter. Look at how it handles God forms.
The personified nerve clusters.
Right, the ones linked to the 8 circuits of consciousness, which is essentially a theoretical map of human psychological evolution. By focusing on a specific God form, you are deliberately pumping attention into a distinct neural area. You activate that specific rung of your brain's ladder. You are basically using the myth to program the biology.
Right, but there's a very stark pragmatic boundary there too. The manual states clearly, if an entity demands you do something completely unhinged, like eat a bucket of puppies, you must dump the connection immediately.
Exactly. Magical gifts are not worth prison or madness. Evoking a non-local spirit without that strict control can lead to full possession. The symptoms are a total system hijack. Sleep paralysis, that spine-crawling energy you mentioned, and hearing a bassy digital tearing static.
Wow. So if one isolated mind can run these intense psychological programs, what happens when millions of minds network together?
Then you get what the manual calls egregores, or when they scale up even further, megregores.
So we are talking about corporate logos, religious symbols, national flags.
Yes. In this framework, they are literally sentient entities fueled by the collective attention of millions. Through the sheer gravity of shared belief, they become the most successful species of spirits, completely capable of enslaving their creators.
That fundamentally shifts how you look at reality. You start this journey inward, acting as an internal mind hacker, building macros in your own head, and suddenly you realize you are a co-creator of a massive collective network.
Exactly.
So the next time you are walking down the street, look closely at the corporate logos, flags, or social symbols demanding your gaze. Are you unconsciously feeding a megregore with your attention right now?